Hey everyone, welcome to a new week's training for Scentsy Success Academy. Happy September. I'm recording this video, I believe it's September 8th, so it's Monday, September 8th. But yeah, it's still technically, it really is still the beginning of the month, beginning of our catalog season. Speaking of catalogs, if you have not already gotten your hands on this beauty here, the pack of them, I highly recommend them, especially because they are currently on sale. Don't ask me, I can't remember honestly how many comes in this pack, but it's like that plus one because I already took one out of the stack. But I believe that they're on full price, I think for $6, if I'm not mistaken. Wish I would have actually looked that up, but I think it's like $6. But it's on sale for like $5 and change, like 10% off, I believe, this month. And I think they're going to run that, I'm hoping, until the end of September. But I already grabbed one stack, and I should have gotten two. I'm not even going to lie, I should have grabbed two. But if you're closing out a party order, not really just September, but anytime, just FYI, you can add marking supplies like that to your party orders on Workstation, just FYI. Also, don't forget, if you haven't already, get your scratch and sniff stickers and or your testers. If you're not familiar what testers look like, they basically, if you can see through the back here, they look like those there. But that's just your friendly plug-in for the new catalog season. Either or, whatever floats your boat. For me personally, I usually do my samples as my scent scratch sniff stickers. They basically look like, let's see if I can find an older sheet that looks almost complete. So these are older, smell really good, but they're older, but that's what the scratch stickers look like. That's actually personally what I use for the most part for my samples, unless it's maybe for like my Scentsy clubbers. And for those Scentsy clubbers or my customers that want like physical mail, if they live local to me and if I have it already on hand, they will get like wax samples. But honestly, for the most part, everyone gets scratch stickers. If they're getting a wax sample, it's only the scent of the month. But other than that, it's going to be either the scratch stickers, so what I just showed y'all, it looks like this. They, by the way, they're not on sale, but I believe they're $30. And you get their $30. No, sorry. You know what? Let's just not even do that because I don't want to mess y'all up. I don't want to confuse anybody. So I'm just gonna chalk that up and blame that on perimenopause because foggy brain does exist. So let's just talk about that another time because I don't want to tell y'all the wrong info. So I'm gonna apologize for that. But just a friendly reminder: grab your scratch and sniff stickers and or your wax testers. I personally like to get both because if my customers are local, I really try my hardest to get a date set that they're either going to come over to my house, we're going to meet for coffee, or I'm going to go to their house and they can smell all the new wax testers, because to me that's a little bit more of a personal experience. However, I also do have the scratch stickers as well, because there are those that are either super busy, it's hard to get a specific date down to meet up with them, and or they live too far away, and that is what they get, is the scratch stickers. But let me tell y'all that the scratch and sniff stickers are just as premium. They get the job done. Obviously not as pretty as a wax sample itself, but don't, unless you enjoy making wax samples, save your time, use the stickers, and or like I said, make a date to meet up with your customers and let them smell your testers. But one little quick tip training that we're going to talk about this week. I won't keep you for very long. Y'all know lately, if you've been watching my training videos, for the most part, if it's just me lately, it's like if whatever I'm doing in my business, I'm going to pop on, record it, and share it with y'all and not keep y'all for a long time. Hopefully you watched last month's training. I enjoyed having Kim Key, one of my good friends. We had a really good time. It is worth the watch, worth the listen, especially if you are doing things around the house, laundry, cleaning, all the things. Maybe you're on the road a lot. That is the kind of video I recommend listening, not watching. Safety first. But I do recommend it because we had a lot of fun and we shared a lot of good tips and key takeaways transitioning into this new catalog season. Which, by the way, stay tuned this month. I'm not sure if it's I think it's gonna be 2 weeks from now, because I feel like that's where I'm gonna have a little bit more wiggle room in my schedule. But we'll see, either in the next week or two. I will definitely have my friends back on, and we are going to, if you watched the video from last month, we talked about how we were wrapping up working our business for the oh my gosh, I forgot. The 10% off, working the sale, how we were kind of segueing and getting and maneuvering into and sprinkling and all the things, the fall catalog. But now that we're actually in the midst of the fall catalog, oh my gosh, like what's happening today? Fall catalog. We are going to share with you what we're doing this month, because last month is definitely going to look very different how we're working our businesses from last month as compared to this month. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, I want to share with y'all what I'm doing today. So I have these old testers. I am not one, I'm going to be honest, I don't hold on to my testers. And I have friends, for example, that'll hold on to them and they'll wait until like the next catalog. So like, let's just say, for example, these are fall winter, okay? These are fall winter from last year. So I do have friends that will hold on to them, wait until the new catalog for the fall winter season is released, or whatever catalog we're talking about, and they'll compare, like, okay, if I have last year's testers, they'll look through what they have that is current, and then they order what they don't have. Hopefully that makes sense. But that is just like, if you're as lost as I am, like if I just said that to you and you're like, okay, what? I'm gonna have to rewind. You're like me. I am not one to, I do hold on to testers, but not to like use them into the next catalog season, because y'all, my brain just don't work like that. Okay. And that's just like, yes, it somewhat does save money, but it does not save time. It does not save time. And it just, to me, is like a time waste. And I would much rather just get on and order like the transition set. You don't even have to get like the full set of testers, by the way. Just get the transition set, because it's going to give you all of the new fragrances for the catalog season. That is what I recommend. And just start fresh. But you don't want to waste these, right? Because like I said, these are fall winter fragrances, but this was my collection that I had from last catalog season last year. But I always make sure and repurpose them. So typically what I like to do with them, as you can see, they're in this little crafty little clear bag. You don't have to use these bags. I got these on Amazon. I think it came in like a pack, I want to say, of like 300 or 400 little bags that say thank you on them. Doesn't have to be as fancy. It could literally, like, all your craft stores have like the clear bags, but just make sure that they're tall and wide enough to put at least 2 testers, if not 4. Now, I don't know, don't even ask me like why I put 2, because I usually do put 4 in here, but they're already done, so it's all good. But I did these last year, and I'm not even gonna lie, full transparency, I definitely forgot about these last year. But you know what? Perfect timing, because when I cleared my office out, I am not even gonna lie, I found these, and perfect timing, because I swear, y'all, anytime I do stuff like this, I normally should have come across these during like the spring, summertime, and I didn't. So here we are during the beginning of September of the launch of the fall catalog season. And what's really nice is that, here's the thing. Will I say that a lot of these fragrances came back? No, they did not. But that's okay. That's okay, because I'm actually passing these out to customers. So the way that I'm personally using these is I have an event that's coming up that I'll be doing, I think the middle of this month, if I'm not mistaken, like 2 weeks from now, on the weekend. And I don't plan on having a lot of inventory with me. I don't want to have a lot of inventory with me. I will have, typically, like this event, I know that wax does really well. I'll probably have maybe like 1 to 2 new warmers that I specifically got from SFR. So I'm not going to go on the website and purchase all the things. I'm just seriously going to use what they presented to us at SFR. And insert income disclosure, that's going to be in the comments, that's going to be below in the description of this video. But I will have those kind of items set up, But my thing is that anytime I do like a networking event or an event in general, you always, a consultant, like you always want to make sure that you have like, what is like think about like your one goal. What do you want to focus on for your event? One thing that I have learned, been in Scentsy for what, like almost 5.5? Yeah, almost 6 years now. And I will say that the one thing that I have specifically learned from events is that it is too exhausting to try to focus on all the things like sales, host, getting people to join. To me, I like to just pick one thing and stick with that. So I will have products, yes, I will have products for cash and carry at this event. However, my main focus is talking to those about the join opportunity, specifically because we have that incredible $9 join special going on this month, but more importantly, because I'm interested in growing my team. I want to sponsor new people, and there are many different ways that you can go about that. So one of my incredible friends, Kim, yes, Kim Key, I was just talking about earlier. So she and I were having a conversation, and I was telling her about how I was putting like testers together, and she shared with me like what she does with her testers. So she had this incredible, amazing idea, you guys, and I had these Avery stickers that I just printed out. I'm going to put them on there. In fact, I'm going to show you what it looks like so I can go ahead, because I need to actually put these on the bags anyways. But in years past, I would still do the same thing. I would put testers in a clear little bag. I would normally have like this really cute, fun, colorful wheel that the customer or the person at my event would spin. And if they won a prize, this would be the prize. Now, I will say in years past, I have been guilty of not putting my contact information on here. Then I would say over the last year or two, I did have my contact information on there. Like I would have my name and my phone number, and that was it. And I never did anything with like catalog, right? So she and I had this, she came up with this really cool idea, and I love it so much. So I do have my contact info on here, but it also says, specifically says, because what did I just say earlier? I want to focus on sponsoring, and I want to focus on growing my team. So at the top of that, it says, like what you smell, why not sell? Scan here. The QR code, I always have a QR code on all my labels, all my stickers, y'all. And this specific QR code is going to take them to the join page. Now, obviously, I do have my phone number on here too, because if they have any questions or if they need to contact me, you always want to have your contact information on your labels, okay? So that is basically what it's going to look like. Now, every single person that I come into contact with at this event this month is going to get one of these, at least one of them. If they buy something for my table, cool, great. But my focus, my goal is to get rid of this entire bag. I don't want any of these coming home with me at the end of that event. So think about it in a way of like what do we have, what's coming up to, like in October, we've got trunk or treats, right? We've got, if you're going to be at your home, you're going to be passing out candy and all the things. This is something that you can pass out to the adults. Have the candy for the kids, have this for the adults. It doesn't necessarily have to say like, join my team sponsoring. You could seriously say like, like what you smell, scan here. And your QR code that you're going to create is going to take them to our new catalog, your website. So that's it. That's just what I want to share with y'all. So that's what I'm getting ready to do. Also, even though right now I'm recording this, I'm in my office, all these testers are in this older Scentsy bag. Isn't that crazy how many are in there? It's a lot. It's a lot. But I'm actually going to take those, and I'm going to go into the living room, and I'm going to watch a movie, and I'm going to label all of those. Because here's the thing. I don't like sitting still for very long. And I've been sitting still for the last hour, getting some stuff done in my office, and I'm over it. I'm done. And I need to move. I need something for entertainment. And so that's why I'm going to go into the living room, find a show, watch a movie, and I'm going to put all these labels on all these little baggies. Sprinkle Scentsy into your day-to-day, you guys. You don't have to stay stagnant in one place to work your business. There are ways that you can sprinkle Scentsy into your day-to-day. Like, for example, One little glimpse into my life outside of Scentsy is that if you're familiar with how we get paid every month, right? And there are moments and times that I want to go out and I want to go to the movies, or I want to go get my nails done. The money that we have set aside goes towards like all of the bills, right? So like my Scentsy pay goes towards bills, my husband pay goes towards bills, and there are a lot of times when I want to just go out and have fun with my friends, or maybe I want to, I don't know, like I said earlier, like go to the movies or go get my nails done or whatever the case may be, and I want like extra spending money. So I recently started not only delivering with Amazon Flex, but delivering groceries with Shipped. Okay. So the point that I'm trying to make is that I do, oh, and also, if you didn't know me, if you don't know me personally, I have a second business. So I curate, I'm a personal shopper, and I curate themed boxes and baskets. That's a mouthful. So with all of that, I sprinkle Scentsy in between, right? So the basket box business is basically my full-time thing right now. And Scentsy, I sprinkle in between that. And then I've got my other two jobs that I'm doing on the side, right? Because those jobs pay me every other day, if not every day. And that's incredible, right? Because then I have like extra spending money to do what I want with it, or pay another bill, or whatever the case may be. But I still want to work my Scentsy business, right? Because this is a Scentsy training video. And I want to sprinkle Scentsy into my day-to-day. What do I mean by that? That means that I don't want to be held captive to my phone all day, because we have lives outside of Cincyland, right? And so I want to share with y'all real quick before I let y'all go, a couple more minutes, I promise. Stay with me. So you don't necessarily have to do this, but I actually have so I love ChatGPT. I know it's been a minute since I've talked about ChatGPT with you guys, but I love that chat. I had Chat create me, and I collaborated with Chat, and together we created a kind of like an action calendar for myself, because I was like, you know what, I want to know what is like the quickest, most efficient, simplest way that I can get my business out there, that I can share Scentsy, that I can share my love of products, but not feel like I'm just being like an old ball and chain, right? Like I don't want to feel tired about it. I don't want to exhaust it. I don't want to overthink it. So I love this list because it gives me 2 to 3 actionable tasks that I can do per day. Now, let's just say you don't want something like this. If you haven't already, make sure and download your Scentsy Connect app. It's free, you guys. It's in conjunction and connected with your Scentsy back office, your workstation. That is also something that it will prompt you. It'll show up in your settings every day and let you know this is something that you need to do. However, if you want to do something like this, go to chatgpt.com. It's also an app, but I use the website. But go there and think about, like, you basically want to type in the blank box. Think of it as kind of like Google if you haven't used it before. But you want to go to it, and let's just say, keep it simple. But you want to ask it, if you've never used it, but by the way, if you've never used it before, that was a mouthful. I need to slow down. If you've never used it before, you're going to type into the blank space something along the lines of, I am a Scentsy fragrance consultant. I'm a fragrance consultant. You talk about yourself, basically. I know we all love to talk about ourselves, right? And I recommend hitting the mic, because as you can tell, I like to talk and I do not like to type. Like my hands hurt, my fingers hurt, I'm over it, but I like to talk into the mic. So I recommend hitting the mic and then talking away. But you want to basically overshare, yes, I said overshare, with ChatGPT, and you want it to get to know you. So you're going to share, talk about like what it is, do you work full time? If you do, what do you do? If you have kids, you have grandkids, like what is your day-to-day look like? In a glimpse, what is your schedule look like? So like, for example, for me, one of the things that I said is that I was like, I enjoy sharing posts from Instagram to Facebook. I like doing reels. I asked it to give me 2 to 3 simple, actionable tasks for the fall-winter catalog Scentsy season that I can do between stories, posts, and reels. So if you don't do any of those 3 things, don't do that. But however you work your business, how do you show up in Scentsy land? Do you create reels, or do you post on your page? Do you have a VIP group? Do you have a business page? Include those things. And what's incredible is it's going to give you 2 to 3 actionable tasks that you can do per day. Like, for example, let me just skip forward to today. Some of my days, like I said, I have 2 things that I do, and then other days it's 3. So for me, for example, one of my biggest goals for this catalog season is to focus on club. So not only sponsoring, but club as well. So that is the theme for me this week, is club week and connection. So that's the overall theme. So for me, it says here, Scentsy Club, I'll be basically sharing about Scentsy Club benefits, and personalized follow-ups. So one of the things that it notes for me to do here, again, mine's going to look different than yours, but mine, for example, it says every day, share 1 club tip or perk in your story. So Facebook, Instagram stories, don't overthink it. Don't create anything fancy like on Canva or Photify. It's going to be a matter of like me going to my story, clicking play, recording myself like this. Or actually, even you can go to your camera and go to your video and record on your phone. And I'm going to share 1 club tip or perk every single day for the week. And then also, so not only that, so I did that today, right? But then also on top of that, it said, for other than that, create a reel. Now, again, if you don't like creating reels, you don't have to do this. But for me, it said, create a reel and talk about 3 reasons why I love Scentsy Club. So, point is that make it simple. Don't overthink it. If you're wanting more help in the realm of ChatGPT, specifically what to say or how to do it, let me know. Message me on this video. If you're on Team Faith and Soul, message me one-on-one. Like I said, I absolutely love it. I go month to month, because if you're not already familiar with the fact that Scentsy has a incentive trip that we're currently working towards, that's what I'm working towards. And I love this like simple breakdown for the month of September, because again, I have 2 to 3 actionable steps that I can take. Now, if that's not your cup of tea, there's also an image floating around that a Scentsy consultant creates every single month that has 1 actionable thing that you can do every single day to share your love of Scentsy, working your business. But other than that, keep it simple. Like I said, make sure if you have your testers, don't let them go to waste. If they're older, it's okay. Like I said, it's the smell that sells, right? So use what you have, put it to use. Don't throw it away. Don't waste it. Hopefully you took something away from this, but I hope you'll have an incredible week. And like I said, stay tuned, because later this month at some point, I'm going to have my friends back on, and I can't wait to share, again, all the things of how we worked our business, or currently working our business for the month of September. But I'm excited. Like I said, it's a new catalog season. I actually have an order that I'm placing myself for myself this week. This week. So I can't wait to get all the new smells in. And, but y'all have an incredible week. And until next week, I hope y'all have a great day. Thanks again for hanging out with me. But again, if y'all have any questions or anything, just make sure and put it in the comments below. But I'll talk to y'all soon.